I'm back today with another video. So today's video is going to kind of be like a story time. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Jasmine. I am a registered nurse. I've been working in the ICU for the past 4 years, and I am currently a FNP student. And what I kind of like to do on my channel is share story times or experience times and kind of give you guys tips or a little bit of motivation or something that I have learned from the situation that I am talking about. So today is no different. If you guys have been rocking me for a long time, you guys already know what it is. So basically today's video, I'm going to share with you the time my manager told me I would never be a nurse. Considering the fact that I've been working in the ICU for the past 4 years, of course she was wrong. And basically this story time is just going to kind of tell you guys what happened, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of motivation at the end. So if you would like to kind of hear how this all went down, continue to watch. Okay guys, so if you saw my last video of my journey as a medical assistant, this basically took place during those years. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it at the end of this video as well as somewhere in the cards, and you can watch it once you're finished watching this video. When I was living in Virginia, I had already been a medical assistant for a couple of years, and I applied to a small internal medicine clinic that was in the area of Newport News, Hampton area. At the time, we had 3 doctors and 1 PA. Every doctor and the PA had a medical assistant, and I was kind of like the medical assistant float. So if the secretary would call out that day, I would sit at the front desk, admit patients or check patients in, schedule appointments, and if a medical assistant called out, I would float with that doc or PA. And then when they didn't need me, I would do all of the referrals. And then if the medical assistant that did all the labs and shots, if she called out or when she went on vacation, I actually did all of that. So I kind of did a little bit of everything in the office, and I really enjoyed it because then it makes it hard for you to get bored when you're not just stuck doing one thing. And I really enjoyed it. This isn't going to be a race issue because I know we've talked about that on my channel before, because it wasn't a race issue. This is kind of, it was a lot of black girls that worked there. There was a few white medical assistants, but there was like equally as many black medical assistants, probably a little bit more of African American than Caucasian medical assistants. All of our docs, of course, were Caucasian. So my supervisor or manager or whatever you want to call her, we're going to call her V. I'm not going to give her name out, but yeah, so V was my manager. She is the one I interviewed with, and she and the docs liked me and they hired me. Boom, cool, whatever. Never had really an issue with her. A lot of people didn't like her personality because she is very boisterous and not always in a good situation. Sometimes she just goes off the handle and not necessarily when it's needed. So the first time that me and V had an encounter, I had cut my hair to shoulder length, and that's when like the half dyed, half not hair was in. So you remember when everybody used to cut big chunks or like take big chunks of their hair and dye it one color? So my hair, if I can find a picture, I'll put it somewhere up in here. So I cut my hair to like shoulder length, and then I had like a big blonde piece on this side and everything else was black. It was super, super cute. It was what was in back then. And me and one of the girls were talking, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love your hair. It's so cute. Like I said, that was kind of the style then. So I was like, oh, you know, thank you so much. I'm thinking about dyeing it a color. I don't know if I want to go like a dark blue or a dark green. So that way when I'm at work, I can actually part my hair and it's all black. And then when I go outside, I can part it to one side, and then I have this really pretty blue or this really pretty green, and then the rest of my hair is black, right? So she overheard our conversation, called me into the office, and she was like, you know, I think your hair is nice. We're not gonna be able to allow you to color the blonde piece another color because it is not a natural color. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I won't do it. I'll just leave my hair this color, and then we just won't have an issue. So she was like, okay, you know, thank you for understanding. It's just our policy, and we want everyone to look professional and presentable. So I took it as like low-key shade, but I didn't really say nothing. I was just like, okay, these are the rules, and it is what it is. Mind you, everybody's hair kind of looked the same because, like I said, it was what was in at the time. Big chunky highlights. Like, you remember Britney Spears when her and Christina Aguilera had the big chunky highlights? So that was still kind of what the white girls were doing. So they had like super jet black hair, but like ice blonde, almost platinum blonde, chunky highlights. But I was like, okay, so she hasn't said anything to them, but she's addressing me. Maybe it's just because I wanted to do another color and not necessarily because I have like a blonde and a black, like blonde chunk and black hair. So I don't know. I just brushed it off and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And I just left my hair like that. So then a couple of months went by because I worked there for a total year and a half. So a couple of months went by and I was coming up on my half year. So like I had already worked there a year and I was coming up to my year and a half. So me and another medical assistant were talking and I had not gotten into it with V or addressed V or said nothing to her. It was still like cordial, like you're the supervisor, you're the boss, blase, blase. Then me and another girl is talking, and one thing I should have realized is that she is like an eavesdropper. She walks around and just kind of listens to people's conversations. But like I said, I just didn't realize it. I didn't pay her no mind. I didn't pay her no attention because like I said, I didn't have an issue with her. So me and the girl was talking. So this girl, she either, I can't remember if she got a lizard or a frog, some kind of green reptile. She got tattooed on her shoulder with her daughter's name underneath it because that's what they called her daughter. That was her daughter's nickname. So it was some kind of green reptile. That's for sure, I can remember that. But like I said, I can't remember if it was a lizard or a frog or I don't know. So she was showing me her tattoo because she knew I had tattoos. And she was telling me about the guy who did it. She was giving me all of his information. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. Like he did really good detailing. The color on it was really pretty. Even though I never do color tattoos. All of my tattoos are gray and black. And but we were still talking. She was giving me like I'm literally sitting there writing down his information. And I was telling her that I wanted to finish my forearm. So for those of you guys who are not aware, I have stars right here. I got these stars when I was in Germany, and that was the only thing I had tattooed on my arms at the time. Most of the time when I'm at work, I wear long sleeve shirts, and not because I want to cover up my tattoos or it's against hospital policy. It's because hospitals are freaking cold all the time. So I usually always wear long sleeves, or you will catch me with a jacket on. I did the same thing when I was a medical assistant because even family practice clinics or internal medicine clinics, when you go to the hospital, they're usually really cold. It's just because, you know, bacteria and germs and pathogens and all that stuff, they grow in heat, hot, warm, moist areas. So that's generally why all of your hospital or healthcare organizations are usually cold. So at the time, not many people even knew I had tattoos on my arm. She just happened to know because one day I was at lunch and I took my hoodie off to eat and she saw my forearm. So mind you, like I said, at the time, that was the only tattoo that I had on my forearm. So I was telling her, you know, I was thinking about doing a sleeve at the time. I wanted to do my whole entire arm, and I had a lot of ideas, but I hadn't pinpoint anything out. And I was just looking for tattoo artists because we were in a new place and I didn't know anybody as a reference. So her tattoo was really dope. So we were just talking, and so later on that day, she calls me into her office and I'm like, okay. So I go in there and I'm sitting down and she brings out this book, like a policies, procedures, all this stuff, you know, like your employee handbook basically. And she's like, you know, wearing artificial nails is not allowed. And I was like, what are you talking about? I don't have nails. I have my natural nails. They were clear, no polish, no nothing. I was like, I don't wear fake nails. Like, I haven't worn fake nails since I was here. And she was like, oh, okay, you know, I just wanted to go over the policies with you. So at that point, I didn't know what she was getting at. Like, I felt like she was just going through the book to see if I was violating anything. And then as the conversation continued, I seen where she was getting at. So she was like, well, you know that tattoos are seen as very unprofessional, and tattoos are frowned upon. Tattoos and piercings are frowned upon in the healthcare organization or in hospitals, just because it's not professional and it's not ladylike. And I know you have goals of becoming a nurse, and you'll never become a nurse if you continue to get all of these tattoos because nobody will hire you. I Like, I was so shocked that she actually said it. Like, to really just come out and tell me what I'm not gonna do. Like, I am a person that you're not gonna tell me what I'm not gonna do. You're not gonna tell me what I am and am not capable of. And your insight to my life is not gonna change my goals, my dreams, and my ambitions. And I've always been like that, and I will continue to be like that until the day that I die. Like, whatever I put my mind to and I work hard for, I can guarantee you that I'm gonna get it one way or the other, because that's just how my determination is set up, and that's just how I am as a person. I don't let other people's outside opinions change what I'm trying to do or stop me from doing what I'm trying to do, and I'm still gonna be me. So I literally go off because it caught me so off guard, and like I said, I am just not a person you can tell me what I'm not gonna do. So because it caught me off guard, and I felt like she was going through the handbook to see what areas I was violating as an employee, even though I was never late. I was always there. I never called in. Like, I am a bomb ass employee, just to, like, not to my own horn, but I literally do everything that I'm supposed to do. Now, it had to do with her opinion of me as a person, not as who I was as an employee, but who Jasmine was as a person, and that pissed me off. So I literally quit that day, and I was like, first of all, you're never gonna tell me what I am and am not gonna do. You are never gonna tell me that I'm not gonna be a nurse. I am going to be so tatted up and I'll still be a nurse. I said, and the fact that you are however old and you are still a medical assistant and you're sitting here trying to tell people that they're never going to be nurses based off their appearance is so demeaning and belittling, and it says more about you than it says about me. And I literally went off. I'm telling y'all, I was livid. I wasn't as like calm as I was now. Like, I was so hot. Like, people outside of the office could hear us going back and forth, and she was like, I'm just saying, I'm from Baltimore, and I can tell you every nurse that has tried to get a job with tattoos, they never make it. I said, oh, so is that why you're not a nurse? Is that why you stopped your dreams and goals and all you are is a medical assistant who's in the supervisor position, and you feel like you're better than all the rest of us because you don't have tattoos? So we're literally going back and forth. I was like, you know what? You can have this job, sweetie, because you need this job more than me, and you need employees more than I need you. And I literally walked out. I got all of my crap and I left. I never turned back. And I never even contemplated working for a place like that, because if you can hire somebody as a supervisor who is willing to belittle people who are trying to further their education and be better at, like, specialize in their area. I don't care if I said I wanted to be an LPN. I don't care if I said I wanted to be a housekeeper. Who are you to tell me what I am or am not going to do based off of my appearance? Like, that is so ridiculous and ignorant to me. So once I quit, of course, because I worked for the hospital or the clinic, but they were underneath a bigger company. So the company contacted me and basically did like my exit interview, and I basically told them why I quit. And I was like telling them she was so rude and she was belittling. She literally went through the handbook to see what areas I was violating, just to give her something else to say to me other than the fact that I wanted tattoos, which I think is so just ridiculous. And now the day and age that we live in, tattoos are so, like, they're the norm now. You will run into so many docs who are tatted up. I worked with an intensivist who was tatted from his neck, I'm pretty sure down, because like his neck and all his arms and stuff was tatted, and he was like, he was so great. I still talk to some of the girls who work at that clinic, or who worked at that clinic. They no longer work there, but a lot of us I still keep in touch with a lot of them. And one of the ladies, she was an older lady, and she was so sweet, and she always, you know, when I quit, she contacted me and asked me what happened, and I let her know. And she was always just like, you know, you never let anybody change your dreams, and you never let anybody stop what you're doing. And she was like, you know, I know you're gonna do great things, and look at me now. I am a ICU nurse. I've been a registered nurse for 4 years, and I am now in school to be a family nurse practitioner. I could have easily let the opinions of others change what I was doing and change me and make me settle for a position or a career that I knew I was capable of doing more. Not saying that anything is wrong with being a medical assistant, because like I said, if you watch my last video, I loved doing what I was doing, and the role that I was in allowed me to continue my education and continue to reach all of the dreams and goals that I had, even though I didn't take the traditional nurse route. So I wanted this to be a little bit of like motivation to you guys to never let what others say change your mind. I don't care if you're not even wanting to become a nurse. I don't care if you are going to school to be a lawyer, or if you don't even want to go to school at all and you want to be a self-made CEO in your own company, or if you want to go and open up a chain of Five Guys. Like, I don't care what your dreams and goals is. Don't let outside people change your mind, and don't let what their opinions is make you believe that you can't do it, lose faith in yourself, because what is meant for us, God is going to make sure happens no matter what. And like I said, she had me so furious. And what is so bad is, like, I feel like that was a little bit of a flame and like under my butt to be like, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna prove her wrong. Could have easily been like, look at all these awards and these degrees that I have, and you know, I have done all this regardless of what your opinion of me is. But then, you know, I realized that she's not even worth it. And anybody who didn't believe that I could get to where I am, being that I had my first child at 17, being that I am a little unorthodox of a nurse, I'm very boisterous and loud and extra when it comes to like my personality, and being that I am tattooed up, being that I have red hair, and sometimes I rock braids, and sometimes I might rock weave, and sometimes I just rock my fro, and that is still who I am, and I am a damn good nurse, and I love what I do, and I know that I am smart enough, and I know that I am capable of even doing more and helping more people and touch more people in the community. And that is what I believe in myself, and nobody else can change that. Nobody else can tell me that I can't do it, just like nobody else can tell you that you can't do it. So I don't care if it is somebody like Supervisor V, or if it is somebody in your family or your so-called friends that's telling you that you can't do something. Don't do it to prove them wrong. Do it to prove you right, because we are all capable of doing what we want. We are all capable of getting out there and get it. It's room for all of us to eat. So I just know that somebody needed a little inspiration to continue to push forward to your dreams, regardless of what other people say, and regardless of people who are out there doubting you. There will always be people out there doubting your abilities to do what you believe you are capable of, and I am proof that you can do it. So that is it for this story time. That is it for what I wanted to share with you guys. I just felt like it was necessary for me to share this experience with you, because I know there's so many people out there who are scared to do what they want to do because of what other people think. And let me just tell you, them people don't matter. So we only got one life. You got to live your best life while you have the chance, and you are capable of doing so. If you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe before you leave. If you enjoyed this message and this story, thumbs this video up. If you are not following me over on Instagram, make sure to do that now. And until the next video, make sure to stay boss up and conquer. Mwah.